Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is The Raptor, and today we are going to be watching the new episode of Death Battle that just came out, the first one of 2026, Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach versus Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, before we get started, since I'm sure there are a number of people who haven't tuned into this channel in a while, we do now have channel memberships active, so if you want to check out any of the perks, you can click the join button down below, and of course, feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We do a lot of Death Battle content on this channel, so if you want to stick around, I would appreciate that. But out of place plugging aside, I am quite excited to see what Death Battle does with this episode because it is a pretty big matchup in the overall anime space, and we know it's going to be a sprite battle, which, you know, is really cool. We don't get a lot of those these days, at least not in recent times, but hopefully we get more. Now, in terms of who I'm rooting for, I think both of these characters are really cool for very different reasons, so I don't really have one character I am majorly rooting for here, but in terms of who I think is going to win, probably Ichigo. I think under most interpretations of this battle and how you analyze the characters, Ichigo basically just takes all the categories that really matter, or at worst, you know, it's more or less even between the characters in some categories. Now, I'm not saying that Death Battle can't say things differently. Of course, they could pull an Omni-Man versus Bardock and analyze the matchup in a way that not a lot of people are expecting, but that interpretation, I think, was at least a logical through line that some people already knew about, myself included. This is a matchup where I really can't see them saying that Yusuke is stronger unless they change nothing from how they analyzed Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho in previous episodes. And if that is what they're going to do, then I would have some issues as far as how they analyze the characters, I think. But of course, I don't want to pretend I know what Death Battle is going to do, so let's just shut up and get to watching. All right, here we go.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi, the substitute Shinigami of Bleach.
Ooh, shedding his skin, that's pretty cool.
Detective of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Man, it feels good to be back, although it actually doesn't feel like it's been that long overall.
To find out who would win
a death battle. All right, let's do this.
Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die? Endless nothingness.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe
Jeez, man,
the same thing as before we were born? I don't know. I haven't died that many times.
In an eternal cycle of death and rebirth. That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead. The Soul
Some of them are damn good at it.
Works great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki.
Ooh, that's a cool graphic. Wonder if they're going to be using stuff like that more.
By a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist. Left with his
I was hoping under his
Ichigo
likes would be Strawberry, but of course that's just his name.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But his wound began to heal
It's fun.
when he found his calling. Upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia.
Yeah, hi Rukia.
To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami.
Yeah, exactly.
To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an
Yeah,
invisible
sheds his
one made
skin.
of spiritual matter called Reishi.
I guess it's more just his body, but yeah.
Energy
It'd be kind of scary, actually.
And exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's
a lot of
but all it
specific
really means
terms.
is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye
Yeah,
to the
might
kid
as well
who beat
be.
up bullies for their lunch money. And hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Plus Rukia, it was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course.
Yeah,
GBA comes
always.
first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
Well, it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto.
Yeah.
It's basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost sword.
Though
Sure.
strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct
Yeah.
spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so they are
the
kind of
double
using
ghost
different
sword
graphics
gives
now. I
Ichigo
kind of
lots
like
new
it.
moves,
Kind of into
including his
it.
trademark attack, the sword beam to end all sword beams. Getsuga
Tensho. Yep.
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful.
And
so
awesome
effective
looking.
that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger.
Yeah, just like multiple ways
Getsuga
to manifest
Jujutsu.
it.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant
yeah, let alone
shockwaves
much
and carry
later.
spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels
Yeah.
say so too.
Plus, early on,
No, and this was
Ryu
early,
so
relatively.
fast, he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became
Yep,
more
that's
involved with the Soul
pretty clear
Society,
cut.
he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya
Aw.
guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see
Oh, hi,
him.
Byakuya.
Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music.
I just say hi to a lot of
Now,
characters
Zangetsu
now.
had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo
Yeah.
learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami.
It's 5 to 10
decades
times
master.
greater.
Bankai.
Yep.
In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on
And again,
douchebag
we're just
Byakuya.
at the beginning,
Even Shikai,
over,
he
like,
blocked
relatively
attacks that could
speaking.
destroy the whole freaking Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve.
Curious how they're
Despite
analyzing
only being a
everything
teenager,
here.
He mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Cat.
Well, that's what every anime character does, right?
Clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kid.
Thank you,
You
Orihime.
mean Grimmjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad.
I mean, literally
Aizen.
main character.
With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude.
Ichigo needed
Yeah,
to
that's
tap
crazy,
into his
man.
unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Right.
Messed up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs.
Bypass
But piss him
super
up enough, and he'll go
senses.
full hollow.
How far does that go,
Don't
though?
Want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai and was enough to
Uh-huh.
crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo.
The-
could
what does
even
the
tear
world
through
mean, though?
All 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret
Again, how
Shinigami
big is
father,
that?
Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions.
Yeah, it's like
until
over
he was
80 days
finally
or
ready
something.
To challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin.
Yeah,
which
stabilized the
crushes
3
space
realms,
like a
yeah.
mini black hole.
Just looking in the
And
corner.
yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have
For a
saved
time.
everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself.
Yeah, he really just
was
wants to
gone.
do the right
He would
thing.
give anything to
He's
get
like the
it back.
Spider-Man of
And
anime.
He did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final
Yeah.
endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned to end
Yeah, the pronunciation
everything.
just changes every
While
time.
Shinigami tried their best. Only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's. And
Yeah,
possessed by
this
the
stuff
Hollow.
is,
Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits,
confusing.
one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a
Yeah,
new
good job.
Shikai and
Must have
2
been
new
easy.
Zanpakuto.
True Shikai!
Yeah.
If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead.
His
Undead.
realm-ending
Yeah.
power.
Stronger than Kanbachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across
Yes.
the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco
But how much
Mundo,
is this?
Plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter
How
of
big are the
disrupting
pocket
the world's
dimensions?
soul. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
Yeah.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half.
Okay, so either I'm just stupid and I'm missing obvious things, or they're still being kind of vague about it. Maybe I'm not supposed to think about it this much and take it literally as world.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai.
Uh-huh.
A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you. Ichigo didn't even need it. You're done.
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his
Very
fears,
good.
and walk onward.
Okay, cool.
Most
There's still some
teenagers
things
have
I'm
no
not
idea what they
super
wanna do with
sure
their
about,
life.
but
However,
let's just wait until we get through
that
this.
was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Row
That smug
It
look.
don't matter who the ups are. Be they
The original
women,
shonen
old
trash
or
talker
babies,
for sure.
Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid
Fights
things
anyone,
like
be they women,
friends
old
and
folk, or
family?
babies.
Which is why
I mean, it's
it
gotta
was
be one of
surprising
those, right?
when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a
I'm just reading the
battle
top about
shonen,
like
so
the
death
manga
is
versus the
hardly
anime.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was
Grim
a
Adventures.
blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan.
Well, I mean, for them, it's
Job
just a
was to
girl,
ferry
right?
his
Like how
legacy
Chinese food is
spirit
just
off
food
to
in
the
China.
afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming.
Yeah.
And didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being
That's honestly
such a
pretty
menace
funny.
to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with
Yeah,
his
you're a
pants
real
down.
brat
So the
if that's how it
underworld
works.
surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
I mean, if you have the power to
Yusuke
do it, that
did
sounds
what
pretty
anyone
cool.
would do in that situation, and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his
Yeah, guys,
rival
people
Kuwabara
care about
would
you,
shed
okay?
manly
Please
tears.
remember that.
Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability.
Yeah.
In his quest to beat
Here we go.
shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness.
I mean, it's a pretty cool
Reiki,
origin,
or
honestly.
spirit energy. He's
For the time,
ridiculously
especially.
Strong, fast, and durable. Heals from wounds quickly and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early
Yeah,
on, Yusuke
that's a big
prepared
point.
Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are
And the Mizoku form is there,
in
okay.
the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to
Yep,
smithereens.
spirit gun.
Favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first,
Pretty cool.
Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his
Oh, yeah, no, that
personal
didn't
WFD.
stay.
Stronger than any weapon on Earth. He could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is.
I mean, I should have seen that coming.
Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself.
Oh, yeah, I am
around
curious if they're gonna
flight,
say it's like light
and
speed or
produce
not.
Massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun. A mighty
Maybe it was in the
AoE
corner or
blast,
something and I
or
missed
a
it.
spirit punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clovers the hell out.
Yeah, a
of
lot of
it.
these just
And
like
the spirit
manifestations of the
wave,
spirit
a
energy.
Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha
Yeah.
was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
Mm-hmm.
Not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to trap them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call
I mean,
it
if you
smart.
got it, why not? You
And
want to
right
win.
plus, he's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it
Uh-huh.
takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons.
Now such a noble guy now.
Individually ranked on a scale of power from E
Yes.
to S.
A and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best.
Mhm.
C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way.
Yeah.
A and S, well, hold on to your ass.
Yeah, those are the
Talking
big
into the
ones.
world.
As Yusuke
And Yusuke
forged
just kept
bonds with
going
new
up, you know,
allies
as far
like
as
demons
rankings.
Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara,
Or equal
he
in
found
power to
himself facing
rankings as
opponents
well.
he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed
That
to
sounds
survive
familiar.
and protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average
Did he
luminosity
keep that
of
level of
380
power?
septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Oh, okay, well, it's not. Well, 9 million mega, so that's like 9
Even after
teratons.
pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui.
Yeah, I mean, we're still not done. Like, there's more to cover.
Measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked, he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing.
Yeah, no,
He
it's
compared
human world's too
destroying the
fragile.
whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even
Right.
A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is
At
strong
the
as
same
balls.
time, or
in the past,
just
he
individually?
fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker.
Interesting.
As turns out, Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Mizoku mark, Yusuke
Yeah,
can
I mean, that looks
channel
pretty
Ryzen's
sick.
Spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's
okay.
rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke
I mean, he's gonna
upgraded
try to
his
kill
spirit
Ichigo
gun
either
to a
way, but
demon
yeah.
gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which
Gotta
one
love
of
the
you
tournament
girls,
arc.
Baby or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle,
Cutting
he
through
was
space.
still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mizoku form separate from Ryzen's influence.
Yeah.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunoshi
Are they gonna
below,
calculate this
pushing
again?
the Demon
Maybe
King
later.
himself to
Okay.
his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized
sounds cool.
he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always
Really big
Yusuke's
of you, Yusuke.
connections
I'm
with
proud of
others
you.
that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss
Happy
him
ending
off
in
if
his
he could
own
avoid
way.
it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Okay, so that was
The
Yusuke.
combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for
a death battle. And let's pause that. Okay, so I'll admit they're making this a little tougher to figure out as far as what Death Battle is going to say, right? Because they were saying a little, like as far as A-class demons, like when Yusuke was A-class, that this could have still been around his, you know, planet-destroying power, right? If I'm understanding correctly, like that's where on the timeline that could have been. And then it just seems like they kind of kept like putting some like more stacks on top of stacks. Like there was him getting up to S-class, and there's also the Mizoku forms, right? So it's a little difficult to say exactly how powerful he is at his absolute best. And it also doesn't help that they really didn't, you know, recalculate that that huge spirit energy thing in the sky, which hopefully they will do afterwards, because I'm actually really curious if they were to recalculate it. Although again, it seems like by that point he might even be stronger than what they said in Sasuke versus Hiei when they calculated it back then. So I'm not 100% sure about that. And as far as Ichigo, I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm not supposed to be reading so much into it, but it seemed like they were avoiding trying to say how big these realms are, right? And maybe that's on purpose, because maybe you would give it away. And that's okay, as long as they then later try to explain how strong it is. Like, you still want a good analysis of the character, right? You don't want things to be vague by the end of it, because it's still an analysis for Yusuke on its own. At least that's the way I see it, right? So it's tough to say who they're going to say is stronger, because it seems like they were keeping some things vague for both characters, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be close in power. It just means that it's vague and it's hard to say. I still think that Ichigo should be more powerful, but we'll have to see what they say. As far as speed, though, it seems to be a little more clear-cut. Unless I missed something, it didn't seem like they were saying that the spirit gun or anything like that was light speed, or they didn't draw much attention to it, at least. So if it's not light speed, obviously Yusuke would still be really fast, because he would be so much faster than the lightning timing from earlier in the series. But of course, you know, Ichigo was light timing from early in the series, and he's gotten way stronger even in just his base form, and he's got all these, you know, other forms and multipliers and all that. So I think at very least, Ichigo should be significantly faster than Hiei. And the whole thing about outpacing super senses, I'm wondering if that's going to make it difficult for Yusuke to see him. But of course, you know, that's a little vague as well. You know, they might not really be able to confirm one way or the other, or they can, and they just didn't really explain it here. So that's a little tough. It seems like their versatility, you know, they have some different abilities, but a lot of it is really just like different manifestations of their own spirit energy, you know, the Reiryoku or the Reiki. So that seems pretty even overall. And, you know, you could maybe make the argument that Yusuke is just a better hand-to-hand fighter. But of course, Ichigo is a beast with his sword, or swords, you know, depending on the time. But point is, it's a little difficult to say. I still kind of want to go with Ichigo, because I think if there is more room to like talk about how strong these guys are, I think there's more of it, especially with like the whole pocket dimensions and stuff, and like destroying everything within like the 3 realms and in between and all that. I feel like there is more room for them to be like, oh yeah, this stuff is actually insanely strong because it's this big and this is how much area they destroyed, you know? Whereas for Yusuke, yes, there is more room to say that, you know, he's gotten stronger than just planet level, but it would just be kind of like a multiplier on top of multiplier of the planet level. Whereas I think there might be more room to be like, oh yeah, Ichigo is actually way, way, way beyond planet level. But of course, I don't know for sure. I think we just have to watch the battle and then see how they analyze everything in the conclusion. So yeah, let's get to it. Alrighty, so we've seen this beginning a few times already, just based on previews and stuff. Oh my god, they can see each other.
That's a demon. That's a hollow.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, and naturally they think each other are enemies. Okay, interesting close-ups. So it's a little more than just sprites. That's pretty cool. And I think both the sprites look really good. Ooh, that was a nice fist. Oh yeah, because it can reflect off surfaces. Excuse me? Ow! I mean, I know you play dirty, but come on now. Oh my god! Well, yeah, you can cut him down, I'm sure, or blast him apart. Interesting, I guess, yeah, they're just attracting those kinds of beings. Or it gives them a portal to go to a different place. That too.
Demon energy got you scared?
Okay, moving fast. Moving fast, backgrounds look pretty cool. Like, pretty 3D.
2 at once? Damn, why did I do that?
What's gonna happen? Oh, he's gonna power up. Or
him together.
yeah, in a sense.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass!
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Ooh, drag him against the wall. Oh, shit!
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it. Like old times.
I mean, you want to win, right? Might as well. Oh, that's so cool. Where they're fighting. On top of the tree. The demon tree. The track is going really hard.
I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
Well, he's persistent. I'll give him that.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same!
Oh boy. Yeah, come on. We gotta still see Ichigo power up even more. I don't know if that's gonna be it. Oh, they did the beam too. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's not good. Is that it? Did he cut him in half?
Give me a freaking break.
Oh, that's what Ichigo said before. In Naruto versus Ichigo. Wow, interesting kill shot. We see him die from his perspective. Interesting, okay.
Here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem.
Yes.
And resist auras like Taguro's.
Yes, right, like the Reiatsu.
So Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku.
Yes.
Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of...
Yeah, I think more varied
training.
powers on
And
Ichigo's side is
swords,
fair.
he just had way more
And the
abilities to
forms
play
for
with.
sure
Likewise,
put him ahead,
speed
yeah.
was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time.
Yeah.
Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
Oh, interesting.
Ichigo was
I guess, yeah,
faster than
the
light from
expelling the
start,
energy
and he's
makes
gotten
sense.
Faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed.
Oh, okay,
Ichigo
well,
reacted to
yeah,
attacks from Soul King Yuhabak
that's a
that
difference.
utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is
He's super
kind of
adaptable.
both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial
Yes.
art. Ichigo's decent
But
at
how much
hand-to-hand,
experience
but it's
is
not
that,
his
you know?
go-to in the same way.
So both had their strong suits.
Exactly.
With advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui
Well, maybe
and
depending on
Dai
the
and Enma,
degree of
Yusuke
speed,
could
but
definitely
yeah, fair
destroy
enough.
the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale.
Okay, we are
it's
getting
about
this calculation
4
again.
quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Similarly, mid-series
I don't know how
Ichigo
much was
could
that compared to the
shake
other one, though.
Mekamundo,
Maybe not even
tear
as
through
much.
hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who
Yep.
could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time. Pretty close
Okay.
to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times.
Yeah.
So there could
That's
be
what I was
an
saying, like,
argument for
stacks and, like, the
Yusuke's
S
power
class and all that.
surpassing Ichigo if
It's hard to
3
say.
realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star.
A
much
planet and a
larger than
star,
Yusuke's
okay.
planet-sized world.
So that, yeah,
Plus,
that's
Ichigo
way
matched
beyond
Yuhabak
at that
in
point.
Shikai,
Even if it
without
is
his
just
additional
planet
boost from
size,
Half Hollow and
or
True Bankai.
As
you know,
always
that
with
amount of
Death Battle,
space.
there's arguments either way, but the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's,
Yeah.
the gap was just
No,
too
for
big,
sure.
giving Ichigo the final edge.
That's what I was
Sorry
saying, you know,
if
either
things
Ichigo
got
wins or it's
messy,
tie in
but
categories.
That's just how Ichi goes.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
All right, good job, Ichigo.
Next time. on
Oh,
Death
we get like a full screen trailer now. And it's... Oh, is that Metal Sonic? Wait, are we get... No way! It's Cell versus Metal Sonic?
Subscribe and join as a member to see more.
No
Death Battle.
freaking way! I was not expecting this so soon after Bowser versus Eggman. Because this would kind of be Metal Sonic's, like, 4th time on the show. I know, like, it would only be a 2nd time being solo, but, like, this is, like, the 4th time being, you know, concretely analyzed. That's crazy, actually. I did not think we were getting this quickly. I thought maybe it was possible that this could be the Cell matchup that we get, because it is a really popular one. But damn, okay, so yeah, that's another Dragon Ball versus Sonic matchup. If anything, you know, if people are hoping for Goku versus Sonic, you know, that could push things a little further back. But okay, yeah, this one is definitely pretty topical in the versus space, so that's really interesting. This personally is not like my favorite matchup in the world. I think Cell is one of those characters that doesn't really have like a perfect opponent that is like far beyond all of his other opponents, but I know there are some people that really like this matchup, and great for them. You know, I know that some people are going to be really happy that this is the one that they're getting. And yeah, I'm really excited for it as well, because, you know, we have a very specific era of Dragon Ball that we're looking at right now, and Death Battle has has analyzed Sonic more recently, you know, and they've kind of updated how they look at that world as a whole. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see exactly what they attribute to Metal Sonic. So yeah, no, that's definitely going to be interesting. And I think the fight itself is going to look cool as hell no matter what. So this was a complete surprise to me. I thought if they were going to do this episode, it would have been significantly later down the line, but that is really cool. Cell is finally getting an episode. You know, as much as I said, you know, he doesn't really have a perfect opponent in my eyes, no pun intended, of course. As much as I say that, it does feel weird that like we haven't seen this yet. We haven't seen Cell at all. Because he's such a huge character in the Dragon Ball space, and they use so many Dragon Ball characters. So that's going to be interesting. I am still excited to see the production of all of it, even if it's not my favorite matchup in the world or anything. And like I said, for anyone who's really excited for this, I'm really happy for you. But anyway, that's enough of that. I'll have a prediction for that sometime later. Let's talk about this episode. So overall, I did enjoy this episode. I do think sometimes they were a little vague as far as capabilities go, but I understand that like they kind of just needed to wait until the conclusion before they can get really specific with it. Even then, if anything, I think I would have liked to see them go like even like a deeper dive into like how big, you know, these pocket dimensions are, unless they really think like that's the limit of it, which is fair if they think so. But if there was more to say, I think maybe I would have appreciated if they just did like a deeper dive into all of that. I know they want to make the conclusion like as succinct as possible, but still, I think I would have appreciated that. But either way, yes. So I did enjoy the animation. I do agree with the outcome. Something else I completely forgot to mention when I was trying to logic it out here was like the healing factor. Yes, like Ichigo's healing is definitely significantly above Yusuke's as far as like the pace. Well, in terms of some forms, at least, you know, some forms, you know, allow him to heal from like lost limbs and all that. And Yusuke does have accelerated healing, but nothing to that level. I was happy with how they clarified whether or not they thought like the spirit gun and other energy attacks were like, you know, were light speed or not. It is funny because they were saying, you know, in Ichigo's, it's like, this isn't like a fake less than light speed laser, but then they're basically saying that for Yu Yu Hakusho, these are fake less than light speed lasers, which I think that's kind of funny. But yes, it does make perfect sense as far as speed goes, that like with power, you might be able to say like, oh, well, yeah, you know, Yusuke goes up to S class, then he gets, you know, these super forms or whatever. He's 10 times stronger than this other guy. Like you can say like, you know, this would make him ridiculously strong. Of course, you can always do that. But as far as speed goes, there was really no, unless you're trying to say that, you know, he was like light speed at the beginning, thanks to like, well, even then he wouldn't have been light speed at the beginning. Hiei would have been light speed at the beginning, but then they would have both gotten way stronger than that. Unless you're trying to say that, there's really no way to argue that Yusuke holds a candle in terms of speed. And again, you know, with the super forms, I still feel like Ichigo would outpace him probably. And yeah, as far as power goes, yeah, like I think they went into as much detail by the end of it, I think, as they needed to, especially for like a more casual audience. I don't have too much of a problem with that. Of course, as a big versus debate head who really wants like really accurate analyses for the characters, I think I might have appreciated if they went a little more in detail, but I'm not going to be like, oh, well, they're missing huge things for these characters, because I don't really think that's true. I think they did an acceptable job of like trying to talk about the power difference between these characters and just like overall, you know, talking about what they feel the discrepancy is. And yes, overall, I do still think Ichigo is a bit more versatile, even though I think a lot of their abilities are like manifestations of their own spirit energy. I think, yeah, you could say Ichigo has just a few more powers, a few more unpredictable tricks that Yusuke doesn't have or might not be fully prepared for. And tactics, while I don't think that's as important as stuff like power and speed, I do think it was important to bring up because, like they said, Yusuke is a really good tactician, really good rate of adaptation. So yeah, that was really important to bring up. But overall, I think it is clear that, you know, they're about the same. They're more or less the same, or at least even if Yusuke is a little better, it's definitely not to the point where it's going to change everything. So as far as the outcome and overall the analyses, I did enjoy them decently well. I thought, you know, the analyses were decently funny, you know, pretty average, maybe a little above average death battle humor. But overall, yes, I did enjoy the analyses. I think even if they did have to wait, you know, to get into some specifics, I understand why they did that. They still did a good job of really hyping up both of the characters and being like, this is how strong they were at this point, but now they are way stronger. Don't get it twisted, right? So I think that was really great. And for the animation, I enjoyed the animation. I like how they were kind of going from place to place, how they finished on the tree, and, you know, they went through the portal at the beginning. You know, I'm happy it wasn't just in that, like, city area. It makes sense for both of the characters to start in an area like that because that's where themselves as characters started, but it also makes sense for the locations to progress like how the characters progressed. So kind of like Ghost Rider versus Spawn, like I really like how they put a lot of focus in the environments like that, so I really appreciated that. The only thing I would say is that, like, as far as I guess it was more so like hand-drawn stuff, but like the close-up moments. Some of them looked really good. Some of them I don't think looked as good. I understand maybe it's a bit more of like a personal style that, you know, the way that they drew the characters, but it's a little different from how we've seen them do other like hand-drawn elements in other death battles. And I think I just kind of prefer it in other death battles. Like, this style is not really my favorite, but I don't think it's bad by any means. It's just a personal preference. But either way, I still thought, you know, the animation had pretty good escalation. Some kind of like pauses to be like, you know, no, I want to power up, or I want to do this, I want to beat him, you know, so some pauses like that. But I understand, you know, they're trying to be true to the series anyway. So, you know, I don't think that's too much of a detriment, even if it does affect the pacing a little bit for me. But overall, I did quite enjoy this episode. It is by far the best they have ever analyzed Bleach, and I think it's a very fair analysis of Yu Yu Hakusho as well. Even with the recalculation of the huge like tree explosion, I think it's totally fair. So overall, yeah, I am pretty content with this episode, and I definitely agree with their outcome as a whole. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Who do you think should have won? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to give it a like, comment your comments, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Again, there is the join button down below. You should be able to see my channel members on the screen right now. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. See you in the next one. Peace out.